Good afternoon guys, my name is Shahid and I am going to show you how to create a Masterdata flat file and then load it to the SAP BI and create a Masterdata info object there and load data to the Masterdata. And in that one I am going to do two parts. For the part 1 we are seeing here I am creating a flat file and I will load it. I will create a master data according to that one. I mean creating info objects and info provider, etc. And in part 2 we will see the loading of data and I will show you the data in part 2. So while creating a flat file we have to first create the Excel sheet for that one. For example, say we have to create the .csv file to load it to the BI, and for that one we are giving different columns like customer ID, customer name, phone number, address, and these columns are going to be, I mean we have to create the info objects for these columns, and all those info objects will be arranged in a given to the master data info object, which is customer ID, and that is called master data info object, which has attributes. All these columns as different columns as attributes to the master data. We will give that one. We will assign in BI, and I will you will be seeing that in a few minutes. And after assigning that one, we will make that customer ID as the info provider, and we will load the data. That you will see that loading of data. You will see that in part 2. So we are creating some kind of customer master data here. I mean some sample data by giving few names and filling up a few columns so that we would know how to, I mean we will know the process, because business actually creates the master data, I mean by real names and by real customers, etc. So it doesn't matter what you actually create here, because we are doing it for the sample. Okay, and here we have come up with a few records, and here by sorting, once you do the columns correctly, you will be able to see the data fine. So we create it to, I mean we give the customer name. So we are creating a .csv file for the columns we have created for the data. You need to check your data so that you won't get errors later. Data types are very important, and or else it will give error definitely, because it has to load the data, pull the data from the flat file. While pulling the data it will check the data types, for example characters or numerics, etc. And when you see E++, etc., then it will just retrieve the data, and you will get errors. So here we are taking it as a .csv file and save it as a .csv. So we got some kind of flat file ready. Now you can just go to the this is the business content of ECC. We are doing our manual flat file. So we will go back to BI, and here you have to give RSA1, which is a transaction code for administrator workbench. And when you will see everything on administrator workbench, like info providers and info objects, etc. And this is one custom info area I have already, and you may see it in later classes. And I will be creating a new info area here. You have to right click on the info provider and create info area. For all the custom created info areas and all the custom created objects, we give a Z as a starting letter, and that is the naming convention in SAP. Either you give Z or Y for the custom created objects, and give the name as training info area or test info area. Here our info area is ready, ZIA underscore test, and now we can go to info objects and create info objects for our info area. There are already some custom created info objects there, but these are not useful for us, even though we are going to see a new objects here for our purpose. And you have to right click on the info area and select create info object catalog, and in info object catalog you give the info object technical name and description. You have to create either it is for char or key figures. You have to give the specification and create the catalog, and in that particular catalog you can create info objects. And now we are creating a char catalog, and we can only create characteristics in a char catalog, and if we create a key figure catalog, then we can create key figures, just like you are seeing our previous catalogs. But here we are doing master data, so we can only create info objects, characteristics, and we have our we just activated and saved and activated it. Activation is successful. Now you can just right click and create info objects. For every object you have to start with Z. Now every info object naming convention can be more than 9 length, so you have to take care about that. And here you will see data type. This is what I was talking about. If you are giving a character, you have to carefully give the characters only there, and you have to select the length according to your requirements. There is a lowercase letters. If you check this lowercase checkbox, then it will be lowercase letters will be enabled, or else you should be careful that you will only load you will only give the capital letters, otherwise it will throw an error again. So it's better to check the lowercase letters while creating an info object, so that it won't give error, or else we should only load capital letters. So our info object is ready, activated, and there are warnings. You can ignore warnings. Warnings are always available there. By creating characteristics and by assigning them to the attribute, master data info object, we will load the data. Here what I am trying to do is to create a customer master data, and then I will create a vendor master data, and then we will see sales data loading. And for sales data loading we will create a query, and I will show you the different functions of master data, transaction data, and multi-provider info set, etc. So you will get that in different classes if you catch up with them, and until then we just have, and I still have to load some introduction classes which I will be doing later. If you want that one as well, you can catch with them. Before this one, I wanted to do that before this one, but I carried on with master data creation, and introduction I will be posting later. So we got our CSV file ready and everything is perfect, and look at the order, customer ID, customer name, etc. And we have to create the info objects info objects for all of them, and while loading the data we have to create the data source in that order so that we can load perfectly. For customer name we have created char, and we can give the length for customer name around 30 would be enough, and check the lowercase, it is very important for that. Activate it and check it, activate it. Customer ID, customer name, telephone number. So a lot of you would be thinking, what is the difference between the business content data and the one we are creating. Business content data is something which is there is a database ECC. There the transaction data is posted directly into the ECC, and that transaction data as per transactions are going on, that will be posted to the ECC, and these are all business content data sources which are already created for us. We will be installing that and loading the data. Here we are creating by our own. So we have numc for phone number, so that we only get the numbers for phone number. If you see the characters, if you give the characters for phone number, it will throw an error again. Their address. So that is the difference between the ECC and BI. BI is a OLAP system, ECC is a OLTP system. OLAP system is nothing but online analytical processing. OLTP system is nothing but online transaction processing. As simple as that. That is for transactions. As per the transactions are going on, the data will be posted to the ECC, and as we want the historical data for the reporting, the data will be passed on to the BI, and it will be reported by BEX.